This one, but I want to talk about a potential fight that could happen this year or next year, just depending on one of the opponents. But Caroline Dubois seems like she's on a collision course with Alicia Baumgardner, and they're on the same side of the street. They're both with Most Valuable Promotions with Jake Paul, and Jake Paul is doing some great things. He's signing a lot of the talented women boxers, and I honestly feel like Caroline Dubois is one of those uprising stars in women's boxing that she's making her adjustments through the sport. She's trying to make her mark, but she needs the big name opponent to put her performance really in on the big stage. And this is why she's got her sights on Alicia Baumgardner. Alicia Baumgardner has done a hell of a job to command the attention of her fans and get certain performances. She's got some pretty good KOs early on in her career, um, and in particular, her rise to stardom was when she knocked out Terry Harper. And the interesting thing is, the reason why I say that they're on a collision course is because Caroline Dubois is getting ready to fight Terry Harper. But in that fight, Alicia Baumgardner knocked out Terry Harper in the fourth round, um, stopped her, and she was out on her feet basically and couldn't recover. And it's going to be up to Caroline Dubois to either put up a better performance or a good enough performance to make a statement. I guess send a statement to Alicia because Alicia is kind of giving her the A side treatment. Basically telling her, you need to do something, make a name for yourself before I give you an opportunity. And so I don't like it in particular, but I understand that that's what happens sometimes in the sport. One fighter typically will want the matchup more than the other. The other one just, pretends like they have a million other options. And then, you know, one fighter usually has to go fight the leftovers. And that's what's going to take place. Caroline Dubois is going to fight one of Alicia Baumgartner's leftovers. And if she's impressive in that fight, maybe it will persuade Jake Paul, maybe persuade, some attraction from the boxing fans to get behind that fight and push for it. And interesting, Caroline Dubois, she's come from humble beginnings. A lot of us know this is the younger sister of Daniel Dubois, former heavyweight champion. Um, and, I've seen her make her adjustments. Um, my first impression of her was just like, she wants to follow in her brother's footsteps. She's kind of tomboyish and she just want to fight. And her vibe to me was just, she's just a true fighter. Now she realizes and understands that in order to draw more attention to herself, she's got to start, dressing up. You see her sometimes with the makeup, wearing dresses, and so she's bringing out the more feminine, qualities of herself while still being dedicated to her craft and being a boxer. So I see what she's doing, and it's also interesting that she's really close with Clarissa Shields, um, who was an enemy of Alicia Baumgartner. Alicia used to be cool with Clarissa, but now we know that they hadn't fell out. Um, and you know, so they have that bond, and I like the honesty I've seen from Caroline Dubois in the sense that she's not overstepping her bounds and she's being realistic. She knows she's a smaller fighter, and she knows that um, if she challenges somebody like Clarissa Shields, that she's more likely gonna lose. She even said on camera she don't want that smoke. But you got somebody who's about the same size as Caroline Dubois and Alicia Baumgartner who would like to make statements about she's the face of boxing, and it's a miss for her when people ask her about how do you feel about Clarissa Shields as being a GOAT. So she feels she's better, more talented and skillful. But there's somebody that close to her weight class in Caroline Dubois who wants to smoke, and hopefully she gets it. I want to see if Alicia Baumgardner can really put up a good performance versus a hungry, upcoming rising star in women's boxing. Because Caroline Dubois is not going to go in there and be afraid of her. She's not gonna respect her, and she's gonna be right there. It should be made for an entertaining fight. And if Alycia is as good as she, claims herself to be, then she'll be able to score that knockout, especially with the 3 minute rounds. And Caroline Dubois wants the 3 minute rounds. So Alycia is one of the ones that's trying to, pioneer the 3 minute rounds in women's boxing, along with Amanda Serrano. I think Amanda Serrano was probably the first one. But yeah, they're trying to push 3 minute rounds in women's boxing. So we'll see how it go. But Caroline Dubois is with it though. She like, don't matter. 3 minute rounds. Um, I'll come to your comfortable weight and challenge you, because Caroline Dubois realizes that, um, you can believe that you're best. You can say you're the best in interviews, but you have to be able to put yourself to that test. You have to prove that in a boxing ring. So I like that and I respect that about Caroline Dubois. I think that she's good for women's boxing, and we got to see how her performance is versus Terry Harper. Um, Terry Harper has like a 4 round curse or something like that. Man, she got stopped. Her 2 losses came in the 4th round, um, where she got stopped. So I don't know. Maybe she'll get beyond the 4th round curse with Caroline Dubois. Maybe not. So I look forward to seeing if Caroline Dubois can pass that test. And if she does pass the Terry Harper test, we could be looking at a collision course. We could be looking at a great matchup um, for most valuable promotions, man, to put on a good event. And I watch women's boxing too, so that'd be a great one. That would be a great one to witness, and for the sport to electrify women's boxing. And he's doing, like I said, he's doing some great things. He may not be, all that as a boxer, but Jake Paul is definitely doing some great things, giving women opportunities, giving them their fair rights and good pay and all of that stuff. All of that stuff. So once again, hopefully, Alycia Baumgardner will, she'll get a real fight, because I ain't seen her in a real good fight yet. Ever since the Michaela Mayer fight, I haven't seen her in no good fights. And the other chick she fought recently, I think her name was Jennifer Miranda. She was getting pieced up by her, and I didn't even know who she was. It's like you're getting pieced up by people we don't even know. And so it's like, you know, get in front of somebody who's a real name, and prove that, you can beat somebody who's also known and considered to be one of those top people on the uprise. Because Caroline Dubois was also Olympian, if I'm not mistaken, too. I can't remember if she medal or what medal she placed in, but yeah, man. Hopefully they'll make these good matchups, continue these great matchups on the MVP side. And yeah, that's really all I got for this one. Flame of shame to Caroline Dubois, for definitely being one that is willing to be on some big champ shit, as I call it, on this side in women's boxing and representing. So that's much more that's needed. That's needed. Athletes that's not just gonna fight to just cash a check, but also fighting to prove that they're the best in their weight class. Not just their weight class, willing to go up in weight, challenge and prove to the world that, and to, where you represent where you're from, prove to everybody that, you're the best. And she's somebody I think that has a good fan base, and of course with the support of her brother, Daniel Dubois, you know, only thing you could do is just build off that momentum and capitalize on it. Shout out to everybody that pulled up, man. Some people in the chat. Shout out to Amy, uh, somebody named Christmas Eve, and Martin King. What up, fam? Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all pulling up for this one, man. Shout out to the ones that caught the playback. Y'all give y'all thoughts on the matchup, who you favor to win, and once again, Terry Harper is Caroline Dubois' next opponent, so that'll be a good little test to see, how their performance was against a common opponent. So that's all I got, man. On to the next.